I posted this video last week showing the new agent designer in the Gemini Enterprise app, and a lot of you were very interested in it and asked me to share the full hands-on demo that I got while I was there. So here we go. And just for some context, this was at Google Cloud Next a few weeks ago, and they invited a few creators and journalists to try this out with a demo account. And everything you're about to see is me going through the exercises that they gave us to test out all the features in the agent designer. Okay, so to start, you can find a new agent designer by going on the left-sided menu, clicking on New Agent, then going to Workflow Agent. Then you're going to get into this screen that allows you to describe what you want the agent to do. In our case, for this demo, they gave us a prompt that we should copy and paste. In this case, the agent looks for a specific email in your inbox with the subject vendor quotes, and it extracts the product category tire and the available quantity. And based on the quantity, it's going to do different things. So if the quantity is less than 10, it's going to send an email to that email address you see on the screen. And if it's over 10, it's going to schedule a 20-minute meeting with the vendor tomorrow at 10 p.m. And once you hit enter, it's going to take a few minutes to build that agent. I'm just going to fast forward very quickly so you don't have to wait for this like I did. And what you end up getting is this sequence of actions with these nodes and decision trees based on the conditions that we defined in the initial prompt. So you have the daily trigger at 9 a.m. So it's a scheduled one. You can change the frequency, the start time, the time zone as well. Then you have what's called the Gemini agent node. And this is the non-deterministic step where you can write a general instruction or prompt on what the agent should do. In this case, it's where you tell the agent to go look through your email to find the one with a specific subject for vendor quotes and extract the quantity from that email. You'll also notice that you can add specific knowledge or documents to that specific node. You can integrate different tools, in this case, Gmail. You can add a human review step, and you can even define the structured output that you want. So in this case, you see the vendor email and the quantity. Then you have what's called a deterministic step. So this is where we want the agent to behave differently based on a very specific condition. In this case, if the quantity is less than or equal to 10, we want it to do something specific, but if it's over 10, we want it to do something else. And you'll notice that this deterministic step is pulling a variable from the node above, from the email data extractor, called quantity. Now, based on the quantity, it's going to do different things. And we're using agent nodes here again. When the stock is low, the agent node is telling the agent to send an approval email to the vendor. And on this step, Gmail access is enabled so the agent can send the email on its own. But if the stock is high, it sets up a meeting with the vendor. And like the other step, this step requires integration with your calendar app, so it can send the invite on its own. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you want to add more nodes, you have a few options. So you can add the Gemini agent node or the non-deterministic node with instructions. There's a flow control node, which is the deterministic step. There's also a human in the loop option. So you can get information from someone or get their approval before the agent does anything. And you can even call on your other agents that you've built anywhere else in the Gemini Enterprise app. And once you feel like you're in a good spot, you can use the preview feature to test the trigger and see how the agent runs the task. And it even highlights the path it took on that specific test run that you're doing at the moment. And you can review it step by step once the run is done to make sure that everything ran properly and that it's working the way you were expecting before you publish it. A few people ask me where they can access this because they don't see it in the Gemini app that they usually use. And it's because this is in the Gemini Enterprise app that's catered towards, businesses and organizations. But you might be able to try it with a personal account. Just go to this link, and I think there's a free trial, at least when I checked, there was. So I hope this helps, and if you end up using it, let me know what you like or don't like about it.